I never read my dad's talk at all, and I refused to listen to him about what he wanted me to say. I was like, no, this is my experience. You guys are getting like this is all raw. Like I'm telling you from experience, really. And honestly, my parents are the best things in my life. They've really shaped me who I am today. And growing up, I've learned definitely 4 things from my parents. One of them is definitely discipline. As a young kid, you don't have a lot of discipline. You do whatever you want. And as a high school kid, that is exactly what I did. I never listened to my parents. You need to go to school. You need to make sure you get good grades and do this and clean up. And I was like, I don't get it. Like, what are you doing? And I wasn't the best student in the world until probably grade 12, when it kind of started hitting me that I'm about to leave high school. What am I going to do with my life? And my dad and my mom usually look at my grades, and they were like, and my dad, I remember, sat down with me and looking at my grades. This is the options you have. Make a decision. What are you going to do with your life? And after that, I honestly gained discipline, and I started really thinking about what I needed to do, how I needed to do it. The second thing I learned from my parents is prayer. In the beginning, my dad told me to go to KFC, and my mom did too. They urged me to go to YFC and KFC. But as a kid, again, you don't really understand the meaning of it. And as a religion teacher now, and as someone who's growing up, and I'm in my prime, I guess, and I'm realizing how much power, how much prayer actually means to me. And I'm so glad that my parents urged me to learn how to pray. When I was younger, me and my brothers were constantly pulled by my parents at nighttime. They were like, we have to pray as a family. And we were like, why? Stop, it's like 8 o'clock. I want to go to bed. Like, let's stop. But, it really helped us as a family. And I was, and I'm really happy for that. And until now, I constantly go to church, not because my parents tell me to, but because I know how helpful it is for me spiritually. And it's really, I don't know, like I told my students, I tell them all the time, it's so helpful. I know it doesn't mean anything for you right now, but it's really helpful, and it will help guide you with the journey that you're about to take. The third thing that my parents taught me especially was relationships. Relationships with not just my own boyfriend, who I've been dating for 5 years, but for relationships with my brothers, my friends, with my parents. My parents always told me, hey, you need to spend time with me. My mom always urged me, I want to be your best friend. And I was like, why? Why do you want to be my best friend? But I'm so glad for that, because kids don't understand how parental advice is actually good. And that's what my parents definitely gave me. Apart from their love for one another that as kids actually learned from, we learned how it is actually really helpful to have a talk and have a relationship with parents and with the people around us. And the last thing that I really applaud my parents to do, and that I'm learning with my students, is that they didn't force me with anything. They didn't force me to do anything. They always kept telling me, it's your own choice. You do with your life what you need to do. These are what we think is best for you. Now take it. If you don't want to take it, then you don't have to, but you will make mistakes, and I will let you do them. And I've had my share of mistakes. I know I'm young, but I've had my share of mistakes. And one thing I applaud for my parents, and I'm really, really thankful for, is that they didn't force me at all. They trusted me.